This isn't going well. Hi, my name's Dave, I'm also known as Infected Flinch, and I'm doing this for the second time. First time my camera went... So, yeah. Hi. It's time to answer all those delicious questions that you've all asked me on Facebook and on my YouTube page. So, thank you for all your questions. I will do my best to answer them all for you. Just to let you know, the game behind me is Speedball 1, if you can see it. Because I've been having fucking loads of troubles with that. So let's get going. That's for you, Evo Hailer. Right, anyway, first question. I'm doing this in a random higgledy-piggledy order because I want to, so that you can't skip to where you need to go. So you're going to have to watch the whole fucking thing, you pricks. So, first one is from Kit171. What is your favourite game of them all, new or old? Okay. Unfortunately, I think everyone's going to know what that is, because I've mentioned it so many times before. It's Burn Cycle for the Philips CDI. It is, and it always will be, because it's just that important to me, and everybody else will probably say it's awful, but it is. It's my all-time favourite game. It's got a... I mean, the acting's ropey, but I love the story. I love the design of it, I love the music, I love the whole concept of it, and it's influenced me a lot throughout my life, so I think it's a great game. As a 7-year-old playing that, didn't really understand it at the time, but now, going back to it, when I went back a few years later, thought it was great, just some of the ideas that there was in there. So that is my all-time favourite game. So nothing... too exciting about that one because everyone knew what that was going to be. Right, okay, next question. Novabug. Hi, Novabug. Does a sausage roll? Right. I've got. It's not an answer, but just to kind of put a funny spin on it. A friend of mine who I work with, he's asked me a question as well. Scared of poo. You may have seen his comments on here. That's his name. Scared of poo. If you mention a sausage roll, basically what it is his penis. So imagine that's his penis, because he's done this to me before. And basically what he does is he puts his penis on your shoulder while I'm stood next to you, and he makes it roll like that. And he calls it the sausage roll. So to answer your question, if it's a penis, yes it does. So, and it has to, but I'm going to answer that one too because that's the major question of it. How did you call, oh sorry, start that again. How did you come to call yourself Infected Flinch? It's a good question because everybody asks me that and nobody can pronounce my name. Okay, major reasons why. So, it's a double barreler because one half of it's for one thing and one half of it's for another. The infected part is partially due to the fact that of Burn Cycle. In that game, you were infected in your mind, and your mind was being eaten away slowly by a virus, and it was an infection in your brain. That was the kind of idea behind it, and I have a tattoo of that because that was the symbol it used to show. So there you go. But you didn't know I had one of those. So the reason why was because it was just that symbol. Whenever you were checking up the time in the game, that came at you, telling you you were just quarantined and infected and you needed to get yourself sorted out. Also as well, and I'm going to be answering this somewhere along the lines as well because somebody's asked me that too. I love The Thing, the film, the 1982 version. And I loved the game, the PS2 game as well. The whole idea of the fact that they were infected but they didn't really know it, and the whole concept behind it, I love that idea, and just the idea of being infected but the aliens were trying to kind of integrate into society, and if anybody tried to threaten them, they'd attack them. And I mean, that's a whole nother story in itself. I mean, the whole idea of the thing, I love that, and besides, I love it for these reasons as well. So yeah, I am a bit grim in the fact that infection is just something that perturbs me, but stuff like that where just it's grim as fuck, I have to watch, and I find it amazing sometimes, like just the fact that, you know, it's awful, but I love the idea of an infection. I mean, like, with Left 4 Dead and zombies and stuff, that's an infection, a disease of a kind. I think of an infection becoming something worse. So, right, but anyway, that's the first half of why I'm called Infected. The second half, Flinch. Flinch was actually a character I used to do a comic strip for many, many moons ago. It was horseshit. I'll tell you now. If you try and find it, there is probably remnants of that website still kicking around, and got me into trouble sometimes, and it was horseshit. But I loved the character Flinch. It was basically this kid who, well, I'll not ruin it, but it was influenced by a lot of things, personal and story-wise, I'd read at the time, and it was this big, huge story of a guy who didn't want to do what he was being told to do, but he had powers that were bestowed upon him, and he had to do something to save the universe, and he didn't want to do it. That was pretty much it. He didn't want to do what he was told to do, and he was bucking against the trend all the time. And it was going to be this giant novel. I got it. Me and Stefan were trying to write it. Every time we wrote it, Stefan would go, that doesn't make sense. And then in the end, we got something in place that was really cool. We were going to write it, and then it never happened. So Flinch was my character. The guy, and just to make you sound really cool, he was an axe-wielding monk. Yeah, that's what we got to towards the end. He was a shamed, weird sort of monk who was in an orphanage and saw everyone die around him. He had a really grim past, and he was bucking against everything that ever happened to him. I got some really cool ideas with it, but it never happened. It just, in the end, I got lazy. The ideas weren't going anywhere, and then I watched Fringe, and then Fringe did everything what I was trying to do, and it really got on my nerves, and then I thought, fuck it, I ain't doing anymore. I felt like somebody had ripped me off. But it wasn't that, it was just the fact, I think probably it's best left alone now. But yeah, that's the reason why I'm called Flinch for the second half. It's just the whole idea is of that. I mean, who knows, I might come back to it one day, I don't know, so, you know. But that's why I'm called Infected Flinch, and it's very difficult to say. One half is for the fact that I'm a bit grim and I've got a tattoo. The other half is because I had a bunch of stories that I never finished, but I just like the name Flinch. Then that was his name, so for the character. There you go. Now stop asking, everybody. Right, anyway, next question. Oh, Stefan! Hello, Stefan. He's asked me a question. If you could be any Kurt Russell, which Kurt Russell would you be? I'd be McCready from The Thing. That's it. Just that links into that what I just talked about a minute ago. So that's it. That's who I'd be. There is a few other ones. There's the horror. Well, I mean, if you really wanted to be left field, you could be him from Death Proof. You could be Snake Plissken. But no, I'd be McCready from The Thing, because you know, when he throws the dynamite and goes, and fuck you too, blows him up. Boom. So yeah, that's that one. Next one. Okay, console snob. Hi, Scott. This is the reason why I'm doing this, because I ripped you off. I'm sorry, mate. So, if you could be any other YouTuber for a day, who would you pick and why? And he's actually put in brackets, if it was me, I would pick Patty. I would have probably gone for Pattimus myself, but since you picked him, I'll pick somebody else. I picked her, rather. Ooh. Sorry, Patty. I'm going to say... I'd probably have to Big Rub Gun. Just for the fact that... just because... He's just volatile and he's a lot of fun. As a person, he's lovely. I think he's great. He's awesome. But yeah, just for the fact that he is just so crazy for whatever he does. And whenever I watch his pickup videos, he's delightfully awkward to watch, and I love him for it because he doesn't give a shit basically. And that's what you gotta love about him. Love him. Think he's great. And if I could be him, I'd just be calling people cocksuckers and telling them to fuck off and all that kind of jazz. But when you get to know him, he's a lovely guy. So I'd be Grub because he's a nice guy. So I'd be him. So that's my answer for that one. Right, next question. Paul Bradley. Hi, Paul. Hello, Dave. Oh, hello, Paul again. I'm very brave with the Ask Me Anything. Yes, I am actually. Yeah. Can you lick your elbows? I know the answer to it, but I'll do it just to... I can get a little bit close. No. However, there is a video on YouTube showing that people can, because I think they can dislocate the shoulder, so it's a bit freaky. Ugh. So, yeah, anyway. Next question. Matt Wright. Matt Wright is on Facebook, so he's not done this on YouTube, so this is a random one in the middle here. Would you snort a line of beef OXO cube? Where did I put the damn thing? Right. There is an OXO cube. Do you want it with... Hang on. What I do for fun. Okay. I didn't want you to see that because I just... Yeah, I've had to edit that out. Right, okay, next one. Going on slightly... Well, oh, here we go. Yeah, I had to cut that out because I did it and then I just snot everywhere, so sorry about that. Right, Lawrence Boy Post, 1975, the home of Dave. Different Dave, I'm a Dave and he's a Dave, so... Marmite or Vegemite or supermarket home brand? I'd rather go for Bovril, which isn't on there, but it'd have to be Marmite. Definitely Marmite. Yeah, Marmite on toast. Fucking A+. So, yeah, Marmite, definitely. Yeah, so next one. Oh, fucking hell, here we go. Hi, Patty. Fucking hell. Right, how many questions did you ask? Far too many. Right, okay. First question. So, sorry, I'm just noticing there's OXO cube particles everywhere. Right, okay, first thing. So, Patty, I'll answer everyone, okay? Do you dancercise? A clever combination of the words dance and circumcise. Oh, Stephen Fry. No. Do koala farts smell like cough drops? Last koala I met didn't fart. Nah, I didn't. If he did it in a very small, secluded room, so... Nah. I don't know what they smell like. I hear that they smell slightly mentholy rather than eucalyptusy, so don't believe what you hear. If Sandy rolls a 12 kilo pumpkin up a hill at an 82-degree incline, while Bianca rolls a 45-pound radish up a hill at a 102-degree incline, how long will it be before someone stops and asks these two mad birds what the fuck they are doing rolling produce up hills? Bonus question, where did Bianca get the 45-pound radish? Well, maybe they're doing like a vegetable race. Maybe they want to get somewhere close, well, somewhere quick, because they're going to win a £50,000 reward for rolling a radish and a pumpkin. Where got the 45-pound radish? Maybe she got that from the magical fairy of radishes. You know, she wears a little tank top, you know, floats around and goes, boom! Have your fucking radish! Who is the one comic book Start that again. Who is one comic book graphic novel world villain you want to kick the shit out of? That's a good question. You've caught me on the spot there, because the one I was going to go for, and it's a little bit weird really, and I can't remember his name. It's one of the X-Men. It's the one that looks with the steel face and the makeup. I can't remember his name. He just used to get on my nerves. But no, the one I would probably say is Barracuda from The Punisher. Proper bad guy from the Punisher Max series. I probably want to beat the shit out of him because A, he slightly irritates me, and B, what he does just gets on my nerves. So I'd want to kill him. He'd have to go, and I'd beat him up pretty badly. So yeah, he'd be the one. If Deadpool rubs some meatloaf on your head, do you serve him a glass of iced tea or homemade lemonade? I'd probably eat the meatloaf, because I like a bit of meatloaf. And I'd give him some iced tea. Iced tea. If Meatloaf rubs Deadpool on your head, do you think there'd be a song in it? If so, would it be enough for a comeback tour? I would do anything for Deadpool, but I won't do anal. Probably not. Not comeback tour on that one. No. Oh, right, okay. Biggest celebrity crush? Probably going back a few years, I probably would have said Claudia Black from Farscape. Probably. So yeah, I don't know why. She was a bit of a hottie in a weird way. I don't know why. So probably her. Thoughts on pomegranates? They're alright. Have you ever told your secrets to an armadillo? Last armadillo I saw, I killed him. Because he knew my secrets. Too many. Am I the only one around here who cares about the rules? There are no rules. There are no rules, Patty. You know this. So you can't care about them. Ugh! So, thank you for all those. Quite a few there. Anyway, next guy. Scared of poo. Mr. Daniel Lloyd. Hi there. So, his questions are, what would be your wrestling name? What song would you have as an entrance song? What would be your finishing move, and what would you call it? Good questions, because I mean I like my wrestling, when I shouldn't really. I'm a grown man, but hey, everyone loves wrestling. So, what would my wrestling name be? I think it would have to be like Dangerous Dave Price. Something like that, because it reminds me of DDP as well, Diamond Dallas Page, so could kind of rip him off a little bit. My entrance song. I think it would be My Sharona. I don't know why. It would just confuse the enemy as I'm coming to the ring, confuse them, and I'd be like, My Sharona! Boom! Come in, chair of it, head, gone. That's what I'd have for that. And what would my finishing move be, and what would you call it? I think it'd be like a modified DDT. So, you know, go and do it, and then about to look as if they're going to go down, but like I'd kind of like sweep them underneath their legs, so I'd kick them and then plant them down. A kind of weird one. So, you know, really modified DDT. And what would I call it? I'd probably call it the danger zone. That's what I'd call it. So yeah, I would be Dangerous Dave Price. I would have my Sharona as an entrance theme. I'd have a modified DDT. Don't know how it'd fully work, but I would call that the Danger Zone. Good question, Dan. Thanks, man. So, right, what's my next one? This was on Facebook, this one. Rick Bedford. If you were a biscuit, what type of biscuit would you be? I'd be a Kit Kat Chunky. But mind you, that's a chocolate, isn't it, really? I'd be a bourbon biscuit. Because bourbon is a funny word, isn't it? Bourbon. 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 Anyway. Right, next one. Dimp. That's my friend Dean. He's asked me a question. Why is abbreviation such a long word? Prick. Don't know. I actually don't know the answer for that. Because there's actually apparently like a big discussion on it. I was reading it up. There's like a big discussion on Wiki Answers about it. So look it up there. I know it's supposed to be a funny question, and there is actually some genuine reason why it's such a long word. It's just so fucking stupid, isn't it? So, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you there, Dean. But I will fist you when I next see you for just asking such a fucking stupid question. Fuck. Anyway, next one. Right, this is from Bracken752. So this is from Jamie, somebody I used to work with. Hi, Jamie. Why does my penis smell funny? Because you haven't been washing your willy. Wash it. Circular motions, nice lots of soap, make it soapy, make it clean. Clean your willy, because it smells like fish. Next one. Thanks for that, Jamie. Right. Okay. This is from Tootie UK. So, hi Tootie. I've only just started following you, so hi there. You have lots of games. Lots of games. Lots of games. Anyway, so, his question. His actual question is not as off the wall as some. The first arcade game you ever played, where was it, and your favourite arcade game ever? I had to try and remember what it was called, and I think it was Spy Hunter. I think it was the first one I ever played, and that was back at where our old caravan site used to be. So that's going back a few years. It had a load of different games in there, Ghosts and Goblins maybe? I can't remember. But I remember that being one of the first arcade games I played. And that's a few years back now. So, yeah. My favourite arcade game ever. Daytona USA. Fucking love that game. And if I see it now, mind you, it's a tie between that and Time Crisis 2. I love Time Crisis 2 as well. But they are, with Daytona, it's just the fact that it's so loud and it's just so much fun. And I can play it. Excuse me, I can play the same course every time, and it's just that one with the giant Sonic the Hedgehog in the mountain. Oh, love it. Absolutely adore it. But yeah, it's always Daytona for me. So yeah, good question that, Tui. Thank you. The Gambling Times. This is Mike, somebody else I work with. So, hi Mike. What does Wesley Willis's track "I Whooped Batman's Ass" sound like in a stereotypical Chinese accent? Both verses and chorus, please. I can't remember the verse off my head, but the chorus, I think it's "I whooped Batman's ass." I think it's like that. I saw your game, Mike. I've got a sore throat and cold, so if I do that, I will be dead. I know before he actually asked me why I'm such a massive clit. Hey, it's not a bad thing being a massive clip, right? So, anyway, next question. Snipple. That's my girlfriend. Hi, Snipple. Do you like big butts? Are you lying? Well, it's difficult. I can't really answer that question. I do like bums, and I'm not lying. Diplomatic answer. Boom. There you go. Right, next one. So, Evo Hailer. Hello. I like you when you belch, and I like it when you just talk bollocks. So carry on doing that, mate, and I'll be thoroughly entertained, as always. I do love it. So, okay. At what speed are you comfortable riding a rhino in miles per hour, please? If I've got the proper harness on and proper rhino mounting gear, I would say around the 40 mile an hour mark, because, you know, sometimes they can buck, sometimes, you know, they're a little bit crazy, you know what they're like, those rhinos these days. So yeah, I'd say about 40, 30 if I was feeling really safe. So, you know, rhinos, you know, always wear your rhino helmet with the horn. So, how far can you spit a peanut in a vacuum? Do you mean the vacuum of space or a vacuum cleaner? Well, if it was in a vacuum out in space, well, I'd probably say about 5 inches. And in a vacuum cleaner, if it's turned on or off, depends really, because I mean, is it sucking or is it blowing? Need more specifics for that one, Evo. You know, there's a lot of complications, lots of different factors. Come on, I need the specifics. Anyway, next one. Have you ever pissed on someone else's skateboard? I was never a skater, but interesting thing, I actually ended up pissing in a fountain at the Peace Gardens, Sheffield, when I was absolutely wankered. And I never got caught with that, thankfully. So I'm a bad person, I know. But yeah, no, I've never pissed on someone else's skateboard. But taking it from what you've said there with a few dots, I'm guessing you have. So they must have knocked you off to piss on someone else's skateboard, man. But thank you, Evo. Irreverent as always, and I always love you. So thank you. So, oh, right, okay, last one. Time Team 1982. So, hi, hello. So, right, let's see what we've got here. Okay, question 1. What and who got you making YouTube videos? Oh, to be honest, it's kind of weird, because I mean, I've always wanted to do YouTube videos, but I've always been a bit conscious of myself, really, because my self-confidence, even though I seem to be, you know, exuding it here, if I'm in front of somebody in real life, if I don't want to talk to you, I'll just not talk to you, and I'm quite, not shy, I mean, I'm just, well, I am a little bit in a way, but in some other ways I'm a bit of a dick, so, I don't know, but in terms of the guy that got me into wanting to do YouTube videos again, his name is Thew, T-H-E-W, Thew, and he did, I mean, when I used to like Transformers, I used to do Transformers videos, and he used to do really funny Transformers review videos, and he used to do it in a really kind of quick fashion, and in a very funny way, and it was really down to earth and really grounded with it all. And when I asked him, you know, can you have a look at my YouTube video of a review I did, and I think he's great for this. He actually looked at it, he liked it, commented on it, and subscribed to me, and I had nobody at that point, and I thought, you know, if I'm going to be a YouTuber, I want to be like him, because he's such a sweet guy. And I always recommend him. I think he's great. He does some really funny stuff. If you don't like Transformers, watch it, because he does make it funny anyway. So yeah, he was the reason why I got into doing YouTube videos, but not for the retro gaming side of things, I must admit. When I started doing the nostalgia trip, I was doing Atari ST. I just did a few because I thought, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And I'm always grateful to him, because he's the guy who got me noticed to begin with, and it's the Joy of Sticks. I mention him all the time, Mark, and I'm always grateful to him. I think he's a great guy, I really do. And he said, is there any more? I'm really enjoying these. And that's all I needed, just somebody to go, these are really good. Is there any more? And partially because of that, this nostalgia trip thing happened, and I'm doing vlogs now. So him as well, and I'm always grateful to him. So yeah, him, Mark. He's the other reason why I kind of carried on. And of course, all of you now that all keep turning up, you are the other reason now why I keep doing it, and all these questions you've sent me. So I am very grateful. You do make it worth it. So thank you. That was a serious answer, wasn't it? Right. Oh, okay. How long have you known Carl, Rabbit and Stefan? Yeah, if you don't know, obviously you just watch me for vlogs. When I do some of the nostalgia trips, there's 3 other guys that do it with me. There's Stefan. I've known him the longest. I've known him since I was 5 years old. So we went to the same school together. So yeah, we've known each other for years. So you're talking 23 years. Oh, Stefan, I bet you feels a lot longer. No, we've known each other since we were about 5, and we kind of parted ways because he went to uni one way and I went to uni another. And then one night we went to the pub and he was there, got talking to him again, and we've been best mates ever since. So that's how I found Stefan again. So I've known him for years and years. So he's probably one of my longest standing, oldest friends. So yeah, that's Stefan. With Carl, I've known Carl, how long would you say? I think it's probably about 9 years now. I knew him from, he came up for a party once and I got him hammered on whiskey. And we became friends ever since. And it was with his ex at the time, so I found, because my mum and dad are teetotal, so they don't drink anymore, and there's just a cupboard full of alcohol. So I found this very old Canadian whiskey, and I took it to this party. Because my girlfriend at the time I was going with, I don't think I was all that interested in the party at the time. And I took this whiskey because I thought, fuck it, I'm going to get trashed. And there he was. And he come up, he didn't know anybody either. There was me and Stefan there, and we plied him with a lot of whiskey. And the first time I ever met him, he actually sang Meatloaf to me, which is a bit of a reference back to another question, Patty. So, yeah, he got absolutely plastered and got down on one knee, first time he ever met me, and sang Meatloaf to me all night. So he became a close friend after that, so he's one of my busy mates as well. So, probably 9 years, maybe, 9 years, probably. He might tell me different, but I think he's known me for about 9, so, yeah. Rabbit's somebody I've only known really for the last 5 or so years. So probably 5, 6 years. Rabbit, I met through somebody else, and the first time I met him, he threw up in his hands. And I think he'd had salmon before, so he just had all this salmon in his hands. So, yeah, that was the earliest memory, and I thought it was a bit of a knobhead for that, but after that we became quite close friends, and I do love Rabbit. He comes out with some funny shit, so I love him as well. So yeah, that's probably about 5, 6 years I've known him. So there you go. Yeah. Anyway, next one. What's your favourite Transformer, and which Transformers toy? Right, okay. Well, Transformers toys, it always kind of changes, and I'd have to get him out from somewhere in all this stuff. You're asking me something now, because there's just so many. Thing is, there's so many, but they all got their own little tweaks and little nuances and how they work and what they do. I'm just looking at what I've got. To be honest, I think probably one of my favourite Transformers would probably be Impactor. Impactor was from the last Stand of the Wreckers, and he has a hook for a hand, and he's just a bad good guy, and he just kills whatever he likes whenever he likes. So he is probably my favourite, because he wasn't actually in the actual films or anything, and yeah, I loved him in the comics because he was just like, yeah. Oh, no, I tell a lie. No, I know who my favourite is. He's my favourite good guy, but my favourite bad guy is from the same series. His name is Overlord. and he was from the last stand of the Wreckers as well. Big bad guy who takes over a prison planet, and the Wreckers have to go in and try and save the day, and he doesn't give a fuck, basically. He's a bad guy, and he knows it, and he doesn't care. He will kill anyone and anything in his path. Look up The Last Stand of the Wreckers, give it a good read. You probably need to understand all the stuff before, but yeah, he's one of my favourite bad guys. That and Megatron from the Beast Wars line, I loved him as well. He was just a deliciously evil bad guy. I loved him too. So you can't make me pick one. I can't do it. It's not possible. I can't do it. It's too difficult. There's just too many, and I can't pick one. You know, ever since snorting that Oxo Cube, there we go. That's better. So, my favourite Transformers toy. Sorry about that, everyone. But yeah, this guy is my masterpiece Grimlock. Fucking love this guy, and yeah, he's just gorgeous. He really is. But the cool thing is, you can make him angry, and then if you wanted, if I can turn it round, there we go. There we are. I'm just going to turn him back. There we go. He's a bit fiddly. There we go. Just turn him back. And now he's happy Grimlock with blue eyes. There we go. And I just love him. I think he's great. So yeah, he's a gorgeous figure as well. So I love him. So I've actually got the Megatron one, the Masterpiece edition of that, and I've also got Skywarp as well. So yeah, I love these. They're a lot of money though. They really are. So there you go. Thanks for that. So, right, okay, and which Transformers toy you always wanted but you couldn't get? It'd be Predaking, because I've always wanted that Gestalt, and it's a fucking fortune. That and Cryotech for the Beast Wars line. Always wanted him too, and I could never been able to get hold of him cheap. And yeah, the Beast Wars line I fucking adore. I really do. Just for the fact because it was made by the Reboot guys. So, you know, I love that. So, yeah. Oh, there's a question to Carl. I'm going to let him answer that because I'm going to try and force him to do a vlog. So, Carl, if you're watching this, get in touch and I'll give you the question. But the question was, what is your favourite VW camper or VW Beetle? So, Carl, I want you to hit that up and do a vlog on it. Pronto. So, there you go. Question 5. Why do you enjoy the CDI so much? The CDI is just one of these things that I've said before. I know it's a bad console, I know it's terrible, and I know there's everything wrong with it, but I have such a really abusive relationship with it because I know it's a bad console that I have to defend it, even though I know it's wrong. But I feel that it did have some decent titles in it somewhere, and I want to bring the best out of it, even though I know it's wrong. But I love the CDI, and it's there, and I don't know if whether or not it was because it was the only console I had as a kid, and I loved it. I did, because it's what I had, and I feel that that is something worth remembering. And if everybody kind of just gave it a chance and just looked at it, even though it was criminally bad, it was still a lot of fun. And I wish people would realise that. Some people take it far too seriously and get really angry with it, and I can understand that, but I do. I just think it's just a funny little footnote of history that people have got to remember, and I think it's great. I think it's funny, and it's something that I love a lot, and I don't want people to forget it as this horrible machine, but everybody does, so I don't want them to though. So yeah, Anyway, we're near the end now. We're near the end, I think. So, last question. What colour was your shit this morning? Bastard. Right, it was a slightly light brown. So there you go. Anyway, that was all my questions I had to answer. So thank you for all those. And I'm sorry if that went on for quite some time. So, yeah, that's it for this one. So I might do that again. But if you feel like you want to answer any of these questions, why not? Do a video. Do what you want. Put your pants on your head. Do anything. I don't mind. But yeah, comment, like and subscribe as you normally do. And thank you all. See you soon.